Let's talk about this. Everybody's been talking about it, but now we are hearing from the widow of Kobe Bryant for the very first time. She came out publicly on Wednesday, and that is Vanessa Bryant, and she did it on her Instagram page. And just talking about the grief that she and her family are going through, the devastation, how she will forever miss her Kobe and her Gigi, and what a wonderful father and sister they were to their family, and how now that they have even started a fundraising page for the victims' families, who now are just as devastated and grieving in the same manner that she is because of this tragic accident on Sunday. And I just keep thinking, I mean, I could be about my normal day, and I constantly have a thought of Vanessa, particularly in my mind, because she's burying her husband, 20 years, and her 13-year-old daughter, who she birthed.
Right.
Her flesh and blood.
And the youngest child will never know her father.
Her little Coco, Capri Coco, 6 months old, will never know. Her daughter, second to youngest daughter, Bianca, had just spent Daddy-Daughter Day with Kobe at the Newport Beach Mall the day before. And then you've got a 17-year-old in high school, Natalia, who is now getting ready to start another chapter of her life as a college student, in such a critical moment for her not to have one of her parents. And I know I've talked about this before. This, when it happened to us, as close as this happened to me, is when my best friend's husband passed away in a car accident when his daughter was in 8th grade, headed to high school. And I know the impact and the long-lasting impact that that has on a family.
Right, and then all of this is going on, and then you still have people coming out like Ari Shaffir, who is a comedian who has now been banned from many comedy clubs. His talent agency dropped him because basically he thinks it's funny to troll people who have recently died. That's his comedy bit. He finds humor in it, and some of the remarks he made about Kobe were just, it's almost like, it's tough to read. It's tough to read.
Yeah, I'm going to read it for you just in case you don't know about this story. And, you know, they're talking about it all over now. Kobe Bryant, this is his quote. Kobe Bryant died 23 years too late today. This is something he posted, mind you, the day Kobe died, okay? This is Sunday. He got away with rape because all the Hollywood liberals who attack comedy enjoy rooting for the Lakers more than they dislike rape. Big ups to the hero who forgot to gas up his chopper. I hate the Lakers. What a great day.
Right.
This is a comedian who says he was passing this off as a joke. He then came out with mea culpa, of course, on his Instagram days later, and says, every time a beloved celebrity dies, I post something horrible about them. I've been doing it for years now. I like destroying gods. And right when a famous person dies, they're at the most worshipped. So as a response to all the outpouring of sympathy on social media, I post something vile.
Right. And it seems like Twitter, Ro, has become the most damning one. It seems like that is where the anger and people are the most mean-spirited. It just seems all social media is getting out of hand.
Yeah.
But Twitter just seems to be the one.
And it seems it got worse when they expanded the number of characters you can use now, right? It went from 140 to 2, whatever it is.
280, yeah.
Yeah, and now what I think they should do is go back to 5 characters, and that's it. You're done.
Right.
Whatever you're going to say in 5 characters. You know, it's an amazing thing that the moment that we go back to, and I covered that incident.
I did too, 2003.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was in Colorado covering that at the time.
Right. So that's now when you stop and you think about what happened there and all the aftermath and that press conference, he acknowledged that he thought it was consensual, and it turns out that the evidence showed that he might have been well in his right to believe it was consensual. But that's a separate issue. He cheated on his wife, and all that was bad. He had the most amazingly passionate press conference in which he apologized to everybody involved, and especially to Vanessa, and they stayed married for the ensuing 17 years. And he's a beloved figure. And he's not just a beloved figure for his basketball work. He's a beloved figure. He won an Oscar for a short animated film that was a beautiful poem. He's a brilliant guy. He was a great father. And the words I would use to describe this guy, and he made it political. This comedian made it political, right? I mean, it's insane. Why do we have to live like that? This is a moment that we can actually coalesce around.
Right.
This grief, we can all have this shared grief. You watch his rivals on the basketball court going on ESPN and talking about what a great guy he was.
Rivals.
Rivals. When Michael Jordan has something nice to say, that's a day, right?
Right.
You know, and they talk about, and The videos coming about him teaching his daughter. It's an amazing thing. We got to put down the lances here, people. This idea that it's now, I mean, the guy goes, it's the liberals who are, I mean, go blank yourself, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Rose, for saying that. And you know, whenever I think about this too, and just think about how much respect and love that Kobe and Gigi are getting right now. When I think of Kobe, I think about his work ethic and that whole Mamba mentality. You're seeing it now, hashtag Mamba mentality. I mean, this guy and the effort and the work and what his process and how he dedicated his whole life to basketball. And then we were just starting to see this new chapter. He retired from the game. And he even said, we've seen these sound bites all over about, you know, I'm done with the game. Like, I'm dedicating, like, devoting everything to my family now. And it was his daughter, Gigi, who brought him back in the game. And he said he started to see the game out of a different lens. I got to see it out of her eyes, which was a lens that we all got to peer into as well. Just from seeing them at games, him taking her to UConn, where she wanted to play basketball when she got to college. We're talking about a 13-year-old too. Like this comedian, good for him for being banned and not other people not booking him and hiring him. You're talking about a little girl who doesn't even get to live her life. Like, come on. Some things are off limits.
You talk about bad timing. I mean, that's the worst timing of all time. And I get it. There were allegations. There was no conviction. There was a civil suit that was settled. I get that. That's part of it's part of his life story and his legacy. It's the worst timing, and it's the most mean-spirited comment that you could make on that.
Well, this guy's just trying to get attention. No one has ever heard of this guy before now. That's an important point.
Now people have heard of him and won't hire him.
Well,
so it's sort of backfired.
Who knows? You know, you never know. He may become a commentator on cable news before.
Well, and he even said actually that when Kobe passed away, the news Kobe passing away on Sunday, that his fans were asking for him to post a video. Like there are people who are fans of this guy and like his style and like his, you know, dark comedy, as he says, that like that tone. So unfortunately, there is an audience out there for him, as we all know.
So there are people out there who enjoy, to them, mean, anger, you know, all of that, the negative energy is what gives them the pleasure that laughing gives the rest of us.
Oh, yeah.
And there's an entire percentage of people, and you see it. I mean, you see it in politics, you see it on cable news, as I mentioned, or any of these other places where mean wins. Twitter is another place where just being mean, because people are like, oh, that's so funny. When people talk about people who are mean, they go, oh, they're so funny. I mean, I think a lot of us stop and go, what are they talking about?
Right. So my brother being a football coach, now he says, you know, like when I dropped the football when I played, I'd only had to deal with my coach and the game film.
Right.
Now he's like, now all my players are dealing with fans tweeting them. These kids they're kids.
They're kids.
They're 18-year-old kids, and they don't know how to handle the Twitter bashing and all of that stuff. And my brother's like, don't read it. Don't read it. Don't respond. Don't engage. But it's hard to tell a teenager that, you know, but that's just this society that we're in.
That is.
Awful.
And it is awful. And that's something that I'm listening to you say that I'm thinking maybe in high school, maybe in junior high, they start incorporating some sort of classes into the curriculum so that kids can learn to start dealing with this, because that's their normal. It's not our normal.
Right.
You know, we can shut people off, but they can't. You know, we already talked about phone anxiety separation. Kids can't let it go. Adults too, for that matter.
Be nice class. Everybody should take it.
Yeah.